Good evening, dear viewers. If it's Friday night, it's not only having a party or drinking in a pub with friends, but it also means we can see another DTM quali, this time on the grandfather of Formula One, at Silverstone, the legendary track where we have seen many good races before. We can hope for another good one at tomorrow, but let's not run forward this much. First of all, we have to see the qualify and we have to see who's gonna get the pole position. and who gonna get the other interesting spots on the grid. So far, I tell that every time when I'm doing a broadcast because it's a very good fact, it's a very interesting fact. So far out of 5 races, we have 5 pole-sitters. As for the names, Jorge Caranti, Chuck McCarthy, Jack Boyman, Mateusz Sterling, and Annie Paraki. And the Mateusz Sterling, who I just said at the 4th place, he's in the championship and he's on level with points as for Thomas Anderson. So those two are at the first 2 places of the championship. Sterling is only leading it because he has one more race than Thomas Anderson. The rookie Swedish guy couldn't score any wins so far in that DTM series, even though he's having 3 podiums, and with that he's having the most podiums in the season. I'm not even sure if anyone could succeed that much that in their first seasons they got 3 podiums. As for the weather, we might have a light shower at the 30th minute, so around the end of the qualify. I'm not sure if it's gonna reach the drivers or the track, but we will see about that. Also, we had Formula One race as every day. I mean, every week. Every day would be interesting. The season would end quite fast. So, as every week, we had a Formula One race at Wednesday. Last time at Canada, and I'm willing to talk about that with anyone. So, if you guys have any questions, if you want to know my opinion, or let it be anything, just tell me, message me on the chat, and I will try to answer. Also, I will try to comment it on next level today because I feel pretty hyped and pretty happy for some reason. I don't even know why, but for some reason I'm really feeling myself in the groove in today's commentary and for today's qualify. Mainly because tomorrow I won't be here, so depends on who will be the fastest and the kindest with flow. They can commentate the tomorrow's race. So you have a chance for it. So why not? You can freely ask. Depends on if you are going to be the faster or the kindest. I don't even know. So as it usually goes, 25 minutes is the 25 minutes is the time which is remaining, and which time is for the drivers to complete a lap, put themselves on the leaderboard. Then in the end, we will see in which positions they might start from. I'm curious also who's gonna be the first guy who is starting the first wave. It's also a special guy. This time is Jack Boyman. I've said special guy and special racer because usually the one who is starting from the first place, they are not getting held up at all. They can have a clear run, except if a guy is coming out from the pits and holding them up. But let's hope it's not the case with Jack Boyman. Actually, Boyman is the guy. Boyman is the driver who needs some pretty good results. Not only because I want that, but only because this season he only got 6 points, and that 6 points came from Turkey when he got the 3rd place, his only podium. Decided he couldn't manage to finish even in the top 10. So we are not talking about that he couldn't score points, but he couldn't even get into the top 10. So he should improve that statistic of himself, or it's really recommended to make this statistic a little better for himself. Not to mention that at the races we have BMW domination because the Schnitzer team won twice, the RBN and the RMG won once, and there is one Audi win by Turvik at Barcelona. This is the only Audi powered car. I mean, not Audi powered car because Audi is not an engine; it's like a car brand. So it's the only Audi which managed to win in this season at least one race. Mercedes have, well, no chance so far to just be able to win. But let's see Jack Boyman. He's starting the lap, which means he will just lead the qualify 100%, at least for 5 seconds. Depends on what kind of time he's putting on, because this is not the first time when we could see that the driver who set the first time, the pole position time, then they stood in pole for the whole session, or maybe for 2 or 3 waves. When he's starting his first sector with a 25.2, as I've always said in every broadcast and every kind of live stream, we can't know if it's a good or a bad sector split. We have to see the other guys to complete the lap and complete the sectors, then we will be able to judge by the time and maybe get some assumption and get some future tellings about a fortune telling about it. But so far we can see Boyman completing the lap without any mistake. These DTM drivers are really professional. Like if you just see, look at the grid, it's a 56.3 for the second split. So these DTM drivers are mostly pretty professional, because we barely see any mistakes on the qualifiers. Even though on the races we see plenty, they can complete 1 or 2 fast laps without any mistakes. And not to mention also, maybe this is the strongest grid on the whole GP4 OC community, so we just can't complain about it. Jack Boyman is starting his lap with a 1:30.1, and Julius Anderson is getting a lot, and his brother is already beating him. And now Paraki goes to third, Turvik goes to second. Let's not forget about Turvik leads the championship, so he needs continuously good results. And the same goes to Thomas Anderson, because those two, as I mentioned before, are level on points. So it's really crucial which driver is scoring more points, which are getting better results on the way on the season. Adventure is coming up to second, and Zontag as well. Those drivers are the two now. Fitzwater, they pretty love second place because they're always taking it. Now Rogue couldn't get it, nor Barros. Bruno de Barros is the new guy in the series after switching, well, not switching, but just replacing Roland Motian. Switching is not the best word for it. So he's replacing Roland Motian as he got promoted to the top tier. If anyone missed this news, because this news happened 2 weeks ago, so I don't think anyone who is a big fan of the GP4 OC community have missed this, but in case we just did, I just told them that basically happened, and this is a thing now. And yes, as in every live stream, I say, welcome guys. Hope you're gonna have a great time here listening me and watching the DTM qualification. Let's hope it's gonna go interesting, like it went in Turkey, and the first wave is already over. All the guys are coming back to the pit. Usually in GP4, the drivers are completing an out lap, a time lap, and an in lap. This goes to all the series and obviously on the qualification. So back to Silverstone, many controversial situations happened in this track. Mainly, if we look at that right turnaround corner, maybe the I don't know which one. I don't even have in my head what is the number of that kind of corner. As we can see, McCarthy and the others are coming back to the pits. And they are stopping and nearly running into each other. This is what usually happens here in DTM, and the pit lanes are really tight, like all of them, for these kind of cars, and they are usually stopping and getting tangled with each other. And yes, when the driver is gonna reach that corner, or at least one driver, I will tell stories about it, because at this corner, nearly every year we had a crash. Well, hopefully this year we won't have it, or if we will have it, then it won't be me. Well, that would be awesome. Obviously, because it's me. So don't think, guys, I'm selfish, because all of you would say that anyone could crash but me. So obviously, it depends on that. And since the food is in front of my face and I can't eat because I don't think you want ASMR. I will just smell the food and I think I will put it away because it drives me crazy. Some drivers already went out on the track, and we will soon see who were they. She got stuck, and that's Adam Wolf. Yes. And if we can follow through his lap, then I will tell you which corner is it. but I will help. It's not in the first sector. On the old track layout, it used to be at the end of the first sector, but in this layout, it's the third sector only. So yes, I think I think the older layout of the track was used back at 2010. At 2011, we got the newer one. That goes for the GP4 OC though. And not only the GP4 OC, because at the real Formula 1, they use the track till 2010, and I think we switched to the newer version at 2011. And yes, we are slowly approaching the corner. After that, left, right corners. This is the long straight, and this long straight used to be the first sector at the old one. And this next corner is the one I was talking about. Many crashes happened, I think, every year. So at 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, it happened every time. I can certainly tell there was a crash at 2010, 2012, 2013, and 2015 because, yes, because I was included in most of them, so I clearly remember to these places. Uh, I will tell that in a second because I am not agreeing with Joe about this one. I will search it back fast while Adam Wolf is completing his lap. Um, I will tell soon. Well, yes, it was the newer one, but without the pit building. And also this corner. Yes, I know we both bottled the win and we used to be teammates. Yeah, but because the pit building wasn't there and the environment was pretty poor, this is why I kept saying that it's not the old one. But yes, you're right after all. I mean, we are more into this kind of informative stuffs. I am not. I didn't really just inspected these informations, so yes, you're right. You're mostly right about these things. So Adam Wolf is completing his lap, and we can see so far he's improving, but not sure how much. He's only being 15th. And Parak is also improving to second. Wow. Same goes to Fakruzin, and Turvik will be the one who won. Duncan starts his lap. Vedrina, and there is a yellow flag. Something happened, and this is Chuck McCarthy. It's so interesting that I started to talk about they are not making any mistakes. There's McCarthy who is losing he's losing control over his car at that left corner, and he's spinning outward and he's spinning out to the runoff area. Fortunately, there's no damage to his car, but this means he won't improve at all, nor George Rock could. And the Rex overtaking Massaranzo Tomaselli only become 20th, which is a pretty poor performance so far from him. Rock coming up to 5th. Adventure won't improve either. I think he messed up his lap quite much. Same goes to Thomas Anderson and same goes to Thomas Bennett. He don't even need to finish his lap, so I can tell that if they messed his lap up or not. And yeah, I don't think Upok will gonna improve either. Not McCarthy, not Sontag. But Currenty might. And Currenty should. Currenty does. Okay, Currenty should, Currenty does because Currenty is not having too many good qualifiers. But I think Upok is the one who is also renting the last place out at the grid. Is Upok the one? Bobo 9th. Yes, usually David Kupak is the one who is renting the last position out for himself in the qualies. And we still have 30 minutes left. Time is going pretty fast. Slowly we are at halfway point of the quali. And I'm back again. And yes, the second wave is over. Also, does any of you plays with F1 Mobile Racing or with F1 Manager? Both made by Codemasters, but F1 Manager is not that popular as F1 Mobile Racing, and also F1 Mobile Racing is getting a little bit unfair. But you could see McCarthy nearly hitting off Zontag from the track. McCarthy is driving pretty dangerously today. Yes, he just suddenly waved the car in front of Zontag, not knowing he was there. But fortunately, there was no crashes about it. And I'm being a bit afraid because if two drivers are going side by side and if the guy from the outer line wants to go into the pits, then they might collide. I am wondering if it will happen because it has a pretty big chance for it. But maybe not, maybe yes. And yes, I know I'm a bit more hyper than Jamie was. The last time we commentated GP2, at least the quali, then he commentated the races, and I mean one race so far, but he is the main commentator, so he gonna commentate the whole racing series. Well, depends on if he wants any commentating partner next to himself, or he's willing to commentate by himself. Yes, he's being a bit more calm than me. I think, guys, you can hear that. I'm a bit more hyper. I mean, not a bit more, like a lot. But yeah, this is like me. I'm a bit hyper. Don't judge me because of that. So far, Anderson is having a terrible qualification. I mean, not Thomas, but Julius. I mean, Thomas Anderson. Where's Thomas Anderson? It's only 13th. So yes, the two Andersons are outside of the top 10. And yes, as Thomas Ellis says, either Parakis, McCarthy's, Anderson's last DTM race is gonna be, because there's another news. So another driver got banned from the series, and this means one GP2 seat is free. Like if anyone followed the last GP2 race, then they could see that only 21 racers were on the grid. It's simple because the ban happened so soon or so unexpectedly. Nobody could find a substitute for the race, so that means we are having three drivers so far at the sign-ups, and it's gonna be decided between them who is deserving the seat, who is deserving to be promoted up to GP2, and this GP2 seat chance might give them a huge career boost, because even though, let's see the drivers again. So yes, even though either Paraki McCarthy or Thomas Anderson didn't reach anything too big in DTM so far, they might have the chance to get promoted to GP2. And as I mentioned before, this might be a huge career boost because nobody really cares about aside the statistics that what kind of results they happen to reach at lower series. If they are doing good in GP2, then they might get promoted to Formula One soon. Either if it's not at 2017, then maybe at 2018 with a bad team, and if they manage to do good with a bad team, then they might be go to a better team at either 2018 or 2019. I'm not sure because basically I can just quote Florian. I mean, I can't quote, but I can tell him that he's one of those rare drivers who is at the first year he started with a bad team, but that team got pretty good after the halfway of the season, and then he managed to sit in a Red Bull and win a race only at his second year at Formula One, which is like it's a pretty good statistic, a pretty good result. Also, yes. Uh, yes, there were four promotions from DTM to Formula One. I mean, from Formula E to DTM, it's pretty logical because Formula E is the fourth tier and DTM is the third. Adventure comes up to ninth, and Fakrzane to third. So far, it's impressive what they are doing. So yes, from Formula E to DTM, it's pretty logical. Q-Puck, finally, the guy who just usually went in the last place out is being second at the moment. So it's only one tier, but from DTM to Formula 1 it happens really rarely, so the DTM drivers can't hope it will happen, a promotion to Formula 1, only if... I'm not sure if I know, but once someone was in GP2 and went back to DTM, I don't think they can go back to GP2, or that goes only the drivers who were in Formula 1. Because I can tell if Fitzwater would do good enough, like he would win all the races and become a champion, I think Fitzwater could go back to Formula 1, because as an ex-Formula 1 driver, he's not allowed to compete in GP2 again. So another promotion from DTM to Formula 1 would happen, but I don't think it's possible. If a complete newbie comes here to DTM, then they get promoted to Formula 1 instantly. I think it's only possible at GP2 because we don't have a GP3 series, only a GP2. This is why we use DTM as GP3, GP2 as GP2, and Formula 1 as Formula 1 usually. This is how it goes. Yes, Joe says it right. I'm so glad, by the way, that well, not so many people, but 11, 12, 13, 14 people is watching the qualification of DTM. Like, when there are many people, I love to commentate. Like, I literally love to commentate. Maybe because it gives you motivation to commentate even better. Obviously, because of the viewers of the stream. Oh yes, that was a little controversial moments. Bennett and Tomaselli are crashing into each other. Just my throat went wrong. Like nearly coughed. Here we can see Bennett is sliding back to his grid. I mean to his pit. Finally. Yes, I don't think McCarthy gonna get promoted to Formula 1 to top class, but we will see. We will see about that if he's getting the GP2 seat. GP2 is similar to DTM. The cars are also similar, and it only depends on skill who's gonna win or who's gonna not. If the standings are staying, that means Jack Boyman gonna be the sixth pole sitter in the sixth race. That means this would be a new record because last season Michael Mocho and Victory Bobo could do a double as for pole positions, so they could score two pole positions in the first six races. If Boyman is winning that, then he's gonna be the sixth one, and this is gonna be a new record since at six races, I mean qualifications, we have six different pole sitters. Oh no! I'm a bit stupid. Boyman already has a podium. So yes. Then I hope not Boyman is getting the first place because that would be the break of the chain. So anyone who is not currently McCarthy, Boyman, Turvik, or Parak, he can get pole position. So because I won this new record, I mean there is already a new record because it's basically, I'm gonna search it back, but I don't think it ever happened before here in DTM that the first 3 races had different ones. Well, yes, it happened before. At 2014, Robin Kelly, Joe Hutter, Owen Carpenter, Viggo Holst, Sean Grant, and Carlos Barton were the ones. Then Kelly's with a double came. So yes, that happened before. Also, back at 2013, Javier Quinlan is putting a record on with 3 consecutive pole positions in the first 3 races. And yes, as we are going back in time, we can see older and older drivers. But yes, also, also there is a record, another record, because at 2010, the very first DTM season, we have Jonathan Kloskett, Andrei Nitu, Vedran Vedrina, Valentin Nitu, Richard Johnson, Hakan Salm, Andrea Federi, Julius Anderson, Levente Dobos, and Rance Jans. So, in a row, 10 races, 10 different pole sitters. I don't think which can happen. But ever since the first DTM series, I never seen Jonathan Kloskit again, Andrei Nitu, Vedran Vedrina is the first one because nor Valentin Nitu, Richard Johnson, Hakan Sam, Andrea Federi, but there is Julius Anderson as well. But this was I think that was a different Julius Anderson, so it wasn't this Anderson because that Julius Anderson is German. Nor Levente Dobos, nor Rancians are in race anymore. So yes, it's him. Then why Julius is like? Then why Julius is Swedish? Oh, he changed nationalities. It's working like that. Oh, okay. It happens. We are humans. We are making mistakes. But let's talk about different stuff now because Paraki takes third place and Zontag might also get a good position. Yes, and not only that, Rowe got fifth. It seems like so far it's staying like that, which means Boyman might have a pretty good chance to be the first guy who is getting double pole positions in the first 6 races and in the first 6 qualies of the season. McCarthy comes, he's not improving. Tomaselli is not improving either. Horst might be the one who might take away from Boyman, but I don't think Horst has a good enough time. No, Bennett is holding up another driver. This pretty looks like that Boyman won that qualify, but let's just wait to the others. Yes, Farina is the last. Okay, there are some drivers. I mean, wait. I don't think Farina is on the lap. Just didn't see him. No. I think nobody is on lap anymore. So that means Jack Boyman is winning his second quali this season. And he's doubling the statistic for himself. And after Istanbul, his most successive track so far, he also. So it wasn't a bad quali. So Boyman won, Kupok is second, finally. Paraki is third, Vedrina is fourth, Rook is fifth, Fakrzen is sixth, Zontak seventh, Wolf eighth, Turvik ninth, and Bruno de Barros, after a disastrous Grand Prix last time at Algarve, or Algarve, he's being 10th. So not bad. He's improving. He's improving slowly, which is not bad at all. And let me just check something again. As you guys can see, the gaps and the drivers again. And let me check something because I think I might broke my microphone. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm back. It's good. It's working well again. So here you guys could see all the drivers, all the results of the today's qualification. Anderson, two Andersons actually only 18th and 19th. Also, Julius finally beat Thomas after a bit of long time. Horst, Duncan, and Bennett are closing the grid. So, as I mentioned before, tomorrow there's going to be a different guy commentating. I hope it's going to be a good race, and I also they're going to be a good substitute of mine, who is obviously better than me. I mean, everyone is better than me in commentating, so it's going to be easy. Anyways, this was the qualification. I was because God as always, and see you guys tomorrow at I believe at 8 p.m. For some guys it's 7, and for some guys it's 8. And I believe we see each other at 8 p.m. So I was Nicholas Gal. See you guys tomorrow, and goodbye.